What's up, guys? This is Jeremy's World 10, and this is part 3. We are hanging out up here in the attic at Jeremy's World 10, and I have a very special guest with me hanging out to just bring back these podcasts. We love talking to people up here, and Lidia Rico, I'm going to get that, totally nail it. And
Yes.
What we really wanted to start off in this part of the podcast is really talk about just the struggles of like being real when it comes to social media. You were saying that, like, it's easy. Like, I know for myself, we made some videos, whether it even be in the very first podcast, we did a series called Rooted, where we had some really good times with our original van. And, it was like, they got 1,000 views. And you're like, how? Like, dude, we're doing burnouts in the cul-de-sac in a van. Like, who doesn't want to see that?
What I learned from YouTube is that you can always get better and that you don't need to attach your work to the results that you're getting. Because sometimes I made the worst video I think I was making and somehow got views. And then I was making the best video ever that I was so proud of and it didn't get views. So it's like, you just put things with no expectations out there, but you really need to try to do your best every time you're posting and every time get better the next time for the next time always. Like always, to me, I never stop researching how to get better. I mean, I'm not stopping here with what I know of like filming, editing, storytelling. I have to get better because I have to get new audience. Somehow I need to attract them in different ways if it's not working out the way I'm doing it right now, So you just have to be very specific with your target and not get discouraged when there is not results, because a lot of people say this, like, oh, keep posting. Sometimes it's not just keep posting. Sometimes it's like, make sure you know what the hell you're posting. Because if you're not sure about how the marketing is going around it, then you're wasting content. So I rather post less and with smart, thoughts that just posting, because that makes me very tired. Mentally.
So if you were going to go back to like, okay, you're starting from scratch right now. Mm-hmm. Today is your brand new YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Like, what are you going to do different today than you did when you first started your channel?
I would not do nothing differently. I did really good since day one, I think.
Okay.
I just think I did the research I needed to do before I started, so I didn't get so attached to these. I knew the possibilities of me getting views were big because what I do, some views was gonna get.
Right.
I mean, something.
It's the thumbnails. She's got horrible thumbnails.
I mean, it's everything. But yeah, the thumbnails definitely help. You got to take good photos, Like I am really good at my, photography. And you can see that on my Instagram. I mean, you got to have a great thumbnail. Sometimes you have a great video and your thumbnail is not good. So I learned by mistakes too that some thumbnails are not good. Some thumbnails are good. Some thumbnails you need to be improving, and sometimes I even change thumbnails that of all videos because I'm like, the thumbnail never worked. Like, I'm gonna change the video, and it worked. Like I did with a couple of videos, and it worked.
And so now, your main is going to be YouTube and then Instagram. Are you doing TikTok?
No, I'm not supporting TikToks really.
Not yet.
I mean,
so do you do Pinterest?
I do, actually. And Pinterest is a great app.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I think especially like I've been in your van and seeing all the cool features of it. Just, like
for
I think
me,
of all of
Pinterest,
that.
what's happening with Pinterest is like, it's not like other apps. They're not based on when you post something. If your post is good,
people see it no matter what.
It will be 4 years from now and that post is still seen. Like that's what Pinterest is. Pinterest is like, something is good, keep putting it everywhere, never stopping because it's good. So the thing with Pinterest too is an app that allows you to browse in websites. They let you do that. That's what that website is about. So you tap and buy something from this person, or you go to this article of this blog. That's constantly done on Pinterest, and they don't punish you in the app because you do so.
You left it because, and that's the thing.
So that's great for sales. That's
Right.
great for website looks and for videos for YouTube. Even like I put photos with the links of my videos. I mean, it's something there. I don't invest time because I just do YouTube mostly, Instagram. I love those two platforms for me, the way I work. So,
and I think that is what's great about Pinterest, because so many other, I mean, heck, even Facebook, like if you post a video going into another,
I use Facebook too as well. Yeah.
Going into another platform, like they don't like that, you know, or you're leaving their website,
Right.
you know,
They punish you straight up.
you leave the YouTube platform to go to our website. Like they don't like that. They want to really keep you on that platform.
For me, I mean, if you're going to start social media as a business right now, you really, you know, like, or if you're just going to do it for fun, that's two different things. But if you're going to do it for a living, I'd say it's definitely not going to happen tomorrow. You need to have a long-term plan and, you know, like, don't be discouraged. Just the hardest part of this is not giving up. That's it.
And so speaking of that, now you've turned this into a full-time job now, correct? So, I mean, that is like your main source of income.
And it's stressful too. That's also I want to say, because you're your own boss and you are kind of always, you know, in the, you know, mercy of the views and how the gods of Instagram let you get
so now do you do
likes and stuff. So
do you do like a Patreon or anything as well?
Yeah, I also have a Patreon. I am not that active, but yes, I get like, you know, some good help from Patreon and support also. It's not just the money, but I made a lot of friends from that platform because it's really people that really care about me. And I'd say friends because they come from YouTube to pay attention on me in a more private place where I'm more vulnerable, and like it's good. It's good. I love Patreon.
So now when it comes to YouTube and we talk about that, like as far as like engaging with the viewers, I know that according to Wreck-It Ralph, I don't know if you're familiar with that. I always loved that. It was from Ralph Breaks the Internet. It's a kid's movie.
Oh yeah,
and he makes that like viral video and he says, hey, the one thing is don't read the comments because people can be so mean in the comments. But like, honestly, do you interact with a lot of people in your comments?
I mean, to me, I've been through everything in my mental processing with comments and what comes from people watching your stuff. And there is days that I take it better and days that I can't take them good because there's so much bad stuff that is like heartbreaking because I may be going through some stuff like when I lost my dad. Like people was mean to me on the comments. I was like, how can you be mean when I'm like making a video where I'm explaining I lost my dad and stuff like that? And like sometimes people is just like, but it's a reflection of themselves. So I'm learning that more where I try to separate myself from the hate because, you know, the only thing that kind of scares me sometimes is honestly like if someone could like literally do something to me in person because obviously, you know, the van is very noticeable. So I did have times where I'm inside of my van and people's like, Lidia, and screaming and they know I'm inside and shit. So it's like, you know, like it happens that, you know, like that's probably what I'm more concerned about, like the comments and stuff, if it's really going to become true if they see me on the street. So I'm definitely having weapons.
Yeah. Watch out. She's got nunchucks. I've seen them. She's pulled them out on us. Did them, and I'm sure you've seen them in a couple, in a plenty of videos. It was definitely entertaining and definitely did a good job at doing them. I think that is all great insight to just seeing a little bit more into it. You know, just, you know, being true and being real. I mean, I think that's a, you know, being vulnerable. I think that's an important thing.
And that scares people sometimes, you know, because they cannot tap on there, you know. Sometimes people feel uncomfortable when you get there because they're like, like that touches home. Like that makes me feel something not right with me. So they instead feel like attacking you because they feel attacked. And it's like, I'm not even talking about you. It's my life.
Right. And that's what's crazy is I always say, like, if there was something that I saw and, you know, just my own take on it, but if there was something I saw that on the internet that I was like, okay, well, that's silly. Most of the time I'm just moving on.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there and writing out a paragraph.
The thing is, sometimes it's people like goes to your comment and it's like telling you why they're gonna unfollow and all of that, and you're like, nobody cares.
Like, hey, thank you for the comment. You know, I'm like, hey, thanks for that, leaving that, you know.
Right.
So we got to meet you. So let's talk about that because we kind of got to meet each other through social media.
Right.
So that was really cool. I think that was, you know, definitely awesome. And, you know, like you said, I'm looking forward to the new friends that we get to make, you know, through social media, because we get to, and it's genuine friendships. And it was like, once we had the opportunity to meet, it was like, oh my gosh, you know, you're awesome. This would be fun. And it brought up the conversation of like, hey, let's do a podcast.
Right.
But more importantly, you know, as Weld Tech Designs build so many different suspension components, whether it be for the Ford E-Series, 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive van. And we got to kind of take a look at your van and
guys,
look at like what they need.
Yeah,
it needs some love, you know?
Definitely I need some, you know, person that I trust. And let's be honest, there is no better person than you guys in San Diego. Let's be honest. And here I feel like home, and I feel really good taken care of. So I have this little thing going on my suspension. I'm like, yo, Jeremy, like, I don't know, this sounds really bad, you know, this looks shaggy in here. Like, I don't know, it's pretty stiff. So we're going to work on the van.
It's going to be fun. But not only that, I want to put this out there. It's not going to just be us working on the van, because you definitely, hey, you said it, that you really want to learn.
I mean, it's not my first rodeo, you know. I did the entire conversion with my ex. I was holding the transfer case, you know what I'm saying? That was hard, but, like hard and heavy. And
we're going to get her in this so that she can actually be able to learn more about the maintenance of it. And then, you know, I think it's coming from a woman's perspective is really important, because there is a lot of other women living van life that, you know, may have to feel like they need to rely on a shop, or they feel like, oh, if I take it to this shop, you know, are they going to take advantage of me?
Definitely. I'm realizing now more since I'm single, right, that I need to take care of my maintenance in a more daily basis. Like, obviously not daily basis, but I would keep an eye on my oil more often and all of that stuff like I've been doing, because I did, you know, let that my ex to take care of it, you know, and now I'm on my own. So I did learn so much from, you know, doing all of it on my own with him, but now I'm alone. So there is things that definitely, like, I'm not, what did you say? Like, I would say comfortable. I'm like, I'm kind of a little bit scared, but I still do it, you know? Now I want kind of like all these things that I relied on my ex, kind of like have someone like you guys to
So this is going to be like the grown-up garage of Weld Tech Designs. You know, we have growing up garage, and this is going to be like the grown-up version of Weld Tech Designs, you know, where we can help her learn about some of the basic maintenance, learn about what's going on, learn about even just also what to look
even
for.
How to get more comfortable when I go off-road, because, I mean, I know when and how much to air down the tires and everything, but sometimes, you know, like, I kind of need to learn how to jack my van on my own. You know, I need to learn kind of doing all of these things.
You want to steal vans? Or?
No, but if I have to change the tire, if something
like
happens.
You said jack a van, like you want to steal it, you know?
I want to jack the van, like, you know, to
be able to
lift
it up. Yeah, because you have a spare tire on the back of it, but like if you got a flat, would you feel confident changing it?
Yeah, exactly.
And these are all key things. We talked about, like, okay, you have a bumper that has a winch. You haven't put the winch in it. So we're able to then go, okay, let me show you guys how easy it is to install the winch, and you can learn how to do it. And then let's take it a step farther and be
also the capabilities with my van too. Like, sometimes I don't even believe she can do that good.
Now,
let's be honest.
What is her name?
Well, she's the van.
She's the
van.
For now. Okay.
But
I gotta name my van too.
Yeah, so she's the van. But
my last van's name was Velocus. Because it was a van, and then like Colossus, so like Velocus. And I don't know if we just go, you know, Velocus 2. I need to come up, my kids keep saying I need to come up with a new name for my van.
My van is the gypsy curse, man. That thing doesn't stop having problems sometimes.
So we're going to break that curse though, you know? And it's just
it's been great actually. My van is like for everything
gypsy
I've done.
Blessing, you know?
Yeah, it's the gypsy blessing. Yeah, let's say
you know, for sure, definitely.
For sure.
I think that, I mean, I could definitely look at like from where you've come, like just, you know, becoming more familiar with your channel and where you're at now. Like the pain is there, but like you're growing immensely, you know, like, I
mean, you grow through pain, you know. Sometimes I tell people you only learn the lesson when it hurts. And when it doesn't hurt, you're just laughing and everything is great. But when you get that slap on the face, that's when you're like, yo, recalibration right now because something just messed up, you know?
But that would be great to really get out and see like what the van is capable.
I'm super excited because I'm kind of afraid of like pushing my van because I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is because it's making this noise for a while. Let's be honest, there is this clinking noise on the suspension.
So that's what we're gonna take a look at.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna look at redoing some of the springs in there,
right,
and bringing it back up to level. We've had some things going
it's just
on in there.
Maybe like it's like something is like out of like the weight it might be a little bit too much right now. I don't know. It's something definitely has been bugging me on the back of my head to go off-road. And I know I can afford tow trucks and stuff like that if I'm on the road. But if I'm on the off-road with that van, it could be very complicated to get it out of there if it doesn't, run at all or something happens with the suspension. So I'm like cautious. I only went to Anses Borrego, honestly. And I off-road a little bit on the beach, but that's nothing.
Right. So we've done some videos in off-roading. I definitely love it. I just love the desert.
I can't wait to go to Pismo Beach. Let's be honest.
Got to go race Baja, a lot, and that was definitely fun. So it's definitely something that I really, really enjoy doing. Now my son races off-road stuff. So, it's like kind of passing on that torch. But it's great getting other people involved in it because I think that once you see like, oh, this wasn't bad, then you become more confident in it. And then you're... Even
how steep I can go, because sometimes I feel like I'm going to like flip the van around or flip it over because it's like some places in Utah was like that crazy. So I was like, I don't know if my van can do this, So sometimes I don't know if my van is capable.
And it's your house, so it's not like it's not like you could just be like, oh, that sucks, tow it home. Yeah. You're like, no, that is my home. It's that aspect of it as well.
For me now, that's why I'm like keeping it more like to places I already been, and I'm not exploring more because I want to keep it like safe right now.
So the downfall is it's crazy hot out at the desert. So we're going to have to figure out some places, even local, or maybe do some like early morning trips out, go do some fun stuff. But that'll definitely, be a good time. But before we're able to do that, obviously we're going to take a look at it and definitely look forward to you getting to learn, more about your van. The nuts and bolts of it. I know that you just went over to Vic's and
he was super nice, and I loved how he took care of everything. And I'm definitely gonna go back there again sometime. I have a couple other things that need to be fixed.
Right.
There's always something. I just want to have the van perfect. It's like if I have to invest a little bit here and there, that's good because I just want the van to be good.
I don't think it's ever perfect because I feel like as much stuff as I've done to some of my vans, I'm always like, oh, I want to do something more. I want to do something more.
I don't have much. It's just like functionalities of like the performance. So like there is little things that don't work. Like right now, I don't have windshield wipers that they have water. Like doesn't work. I don't have the motor of that.
Well, luckily it's summertime. You don't need windshield wipers. It's summer.
It's dirty. I need to wipe that stuff, But there is these little things that are always kind of bugging me. So I'm like, I got to take it to
we did touch base on this a couple times. You said if you had a family, if you had kids, you would still want to live the van life. So let's just say
I don't know. I didn't say if I said that I've met.
Okay, you've met. But so
to me right now, it's not that I'm going to probably live van life forever. Right now it's working out for me. But I'm getting tired. No,
so if you met Mr. Perfect,
obviously, if I meet Mr. Perfect, well, I would not quit van life, but I would always have a van. That's something I know.
No, and I'm right there with you. Like I love having a van. I'd rather have a van over a truck. I love the versatility. Yeah. I love where I can go and what I can do with it. But now, do you see kids? Like, do you want kids? Is that something that you?
I would love kids.
Okay.
Like. My ex was just like not ready for it, but I was really trying to have kids with him. You know? Let's be honest here.
No, and that's where it's like it's super important, because
some people is just not ready for it, and they just had to run and be with like 20-year-old girls now.
We're not talking about that right now, but
no, we're not.
Yeah. But so definitely. So you're saying yes, you would love kids, and if in your perfect world, what are you thinking? 1 kid, 2 kids, 8 kids?
1 is good. Just to know what it is, and then I'll tell you what's up.
Then I know you hear so many people that are like 1 and done. I
don't know.
4,
I don't say 1 and done. My mom had 4 kids.
Okay, so then
You know, I don't think I have time for that. You
Right.
know, I want to have one and make sure that one is like has food and everything. And then
Food, it's small things, like food. I just want to make sure it has food.
good food, like non-GMO and everything,
Okay.
We're talking about a lot of money,
Yeah.
like kids nowadays, like, remember when
But
it was like the shortage on the formula and everything? It's really stressful having babies right now lately,
Oh, I think that that's the biggest thing, though. I think that as stressful as you think, like, oh my gosh, like, life is difficult right now. But I think that that's the great thing about life is you adapt to it. So you have a kid and then that child becomes such an important aspect of your life. You adapt to that and it doesn't become really any more difficult. I'm going to give you from my perspective, like, yes, it was, you have the difficult learning curve, but like, is life more difficult? I don't feel like at any point in my life that I'm like, oh, I can't do that because I have kids. I'm like, okay, how am I going to do that with my kids? Or like just that experience because I want my kids to experience it. I have, pictures and videos of my son, being just a couple months old and we're doing road trips and, all kinds of things of that nature where I never let it slow me down.
The sooner that you incorporate your kid to your regular lifestyle that you were doing before. I mean, I'm not saying that you gotta do the same thing, but I mean, you are who you are.
Yeah, you're not gonna be hitting up the clubs anymore.
But you are who you are. If you like, it's like my dad. Used to like all these, kind of like survival things. Like he was into that stuff because he was a military too. So he used to take me to the forest and teach me how to survive and like what should I do if I don't have any food. I should eat like a little rock to trick I was like, what? Like, you crazy. One time I even like stabbed my sister on accident because he gave us knives, so it was a crazy thing. I stabbed my sister on the hand in the forest. I was like, oh my God, Dad. It's like, well, it's okay. It was crazy, but yeah, my dad always had knives and everything. And I don't know. I just feel that it's good to spend time with your parents doing things that they love too, because then you learn from your parents. So it's like if you're a dad or a mom and quit doing those things with your kids, then that's they're not gonna ever know who you are.
No, definitely. I think that that's a super valid point. It's like you really allow them to come into your life and learn it.
And you never know. Look at all these. If you were Beyonce, oh my God, your fucking daughter is here singing with you and doing all of this, and she's a singer. But we don't do that with like kids. Sometimes we're like, oh, too ashamed of who we are, so we're not sharing everything with the kids because it's not that good,
Yeah.
Like, no, that teach everything, like make you be humble or whatever. You gotta do things with your parents outside and like interact with people. I think that's really good for like kids. And I was a nanny before, actually. I was like a nanny for 2 years.
Okay.
When I moved here, that's how I moved here.
Okay.
That's how I moved here. I was a au pair. It's called.
What's an au pair?
It's a exchange program that you do, and people from Europe come here, and people from here go to Europe, and then you take care of kids.
Oh.
And also, it's like a job, and I had to go to school to learn English. So that's how I learned English.
No, that is awesome. I mean, so many great things that we got to talk about. I mean, we came up here thinking like, oh, this could be difficult. And here we are like an hour and a half into this, breaking this up into 3 different parts just to make it easy to kind of, go through it and watch it, but
digest it.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a lot. And I'm sure that there's going to be even more topics that we will want to talk about and, do this again and, talk about, really after what we do to your van, like what you learned and, talk about that and being encouraging, to that as well. So I definitely want to thank Lidia Rico for coming up here in the attic and hanging out with me on Jeremy's World 10. Let's talk about how they can, how people can watch you if they don't know.
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel where I share all my adventures and my ups and downs in life. It's called Lidia Rico. And then I have an Instagram that is the same with an underscore. And a page for my van that is called Gypsy Tribe. So go follow me there. I'm always posting stories and basically sharing with you what I go through, with this, on the road lifestyle, I guess.
And it's definitely fascinating and amazing. Definitely a complete different life than what I am living. So it's really interesting, to watch somebody that's doing it for real, because, we get to build these amazing vans here, but then, a lot of times you don't get to see how they're used or what they're being used for. But in this setting, we totally will get to see how the upgrades make such a, improvement on it. And really, just try to, increase that confidence that you have to, get out and enjoy it and, make your best life ever. Cause, we're all searching for that 10. It's just a matter of, a matter of getting there.
It's never perfect. You just always have to just, take what you got and, wish for the best. Normally it's chill,
Right.
but there is always this unexpected thing, with van life, you need to learn to know when something is really, really a big issue and when something is just like another issue,
Right. No, I totally get it. It's kind of like just putting them in just what's the most important, and that's like anything in life, it's like,
I say you got to have some cushion, if you have a cushion that you have enough for the worst case scenario, I think you're good. If you don't have that cushion, then anxiety comes in.
Right. Yeah. Cause you're like, oh no, now what do I do? And like I said, living when it's your house, it's kind of like a multi-faceted.
Yeah, because if it's the worst case scenario that you need a new engine or like a head gasket or I'm telling you, my
you're
suspension.
Getting evicted out of your house for a little bit.
It's like where I'm gonna live from like the 3 months that this fucking mechanic is going to scam me. Like that's basically what you think.
Right. Well, hopefully that we'll be able to dive more into that in future videos.
Yeah.
Just talking about the maintenance side of it. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. And if this is your first time here watching us over here at Jeremy's World 10, you can also follow me on Instagram at Jeremy's World 10, or at Facebook, it's just Jeremy Johnson. It's just me, my life, my journey. And I'm inviting you along for the ride as I search for that perfect 10, just having fun. That's all I have for this podcast, guys. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. And I promise I'm going to be up here again real soon. That's it. I'm Jeremy Johnson, and this is Lidia Rico. Ow. We'll see you guys in the next one.